Alright, good morning everybody. It's your boy Akeem and welcome to today's vlogs. I know I have been MIA for a while, but doing a lot of work personally, had to deal with a lot of personal issues, but I'm back to give you more scout reports headed towards the 2016 NFL Draft. I'm only going to give you a couple today on a couple of requests that I did receive online, and then this one is going to be on Vernon Butler, the defensive tackle coming out of Louisiana Tech. Now he's actually hailing from Summit, Mississippi, and he was a two-star recruit coming out of high school. He did have a couple of recruits, scholarships offers to Ole Miss and a couple of other SEC schools, but he fell in love with Louisiana Tech and decided to become a Bulldog. Now, actually, he had a great career as a Bulldog. Started his career off in 2012, where he was served more as a backup, but then emerged as the starter for the next 3 seasons, in which he did have 43 tackles in 2013 for four and a half tackles for loss and a sack. In 2014, 56 tackles, 13 and a half tackles for loss and a sack. And in this past season, 50 tackles, 10 tackles for loss to go along with 3 sacks. Now let's talk about Big Vern Johnson. He definitely earned that name due to his size. Going to talk about his strengths and weaknesses. Starting with his strengths, he's 6'4", 223 pounds. That's why he earned the name Big Vern. Definitely a great player, wide hit player who carries his weight pretty well. Now he actually has good short area quickness, which is good. That shows that he could give you some good movements off the snap of the football and even in short areas in his particular domain. Now he definitely has decent lateral range, and he definitely can work up and down the line of scrimmage and sideline to sideline to evade blocks and try to shed off blocks. Now he definitely has a pretty good strong upper body. He had 29 reps at 225 pounds. I'm sorry, actually I believe 26 reps at 225 pounds, which is not bad, which is a little bit stronger, but I think this is actually not bad. Definitely has a good weight, and he pretty much was unblockable during the Senior Bowl practice week, and that's what kind of boosted up his draft status more. He even considered coming out in 2014, decided to stay his senior season, and he did garner first team All-Conference USA honors. He definitely has good coordinated movements and definitely works well off the blocks and staying within striking distance, which shows his great ability. He did a great job during his career as a Bulldog. Now he does have some weaknesses though. I mentioned his total number of sacks, only 5 sacks in his entire career, which is not great. And I was hoping a lot more, especially with a guy of his size. If he had at least like 20 something in 25 range in his career, he could definitely be a mid-first round pick at worst of this year's draft. And another thing, he had a 5.3 40, which was not a good time. If had he run at least a 5 flat, that would boost up his draft status as well. Now some people believe that he's probably the best defensive tackle entering this year's draft, but I do think he's a great player. But with those numbers, that kind of took me off as far as that his ability. Definitely he needs to increase that up pretty well. Now he does have active hands and limbs, but he needs to show more purpose and strategy behind his rush moves to get behind the line of scrimmage, and he definitely does well as tackles for loss, but he needs to work that up just a little bit. And lastly, he sometimes can stand upright, and he is 6'4". He needs to bend down a little bit and just to get better leverage against the offensive lineman that he faces up against. Those are just a couple things that he does need to work on. Now overall, for my projection, I see him as a late first rounder at best, but I see him as a more fit in the second round of this year's draft. Now, the next time to catch you guys will be in a couple minutes. I have a couple more blogs for today. Thank you for watching this blog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.